welcome to the deep dive. So this month we're really zooming in on Virgos for September 2025. Whether you're a Virgo wanting your own cosmic forecast, or maybe you're just curious about a Virgo in your life, we're here to unpack it all for you. We've got our sources lined up, done the homework, and we're set to give you a really personalized guide. So what's the main goal with this deep dive?
Yeah, the idea is to go deeper than just, the usual stuff. We want to explore the specific energy September has for you as a Virgo. See, Virgos, you're known for being meticulous, analytical, perfectionists even. And September, it's not just Virgo season. There are specific planetary things happening that really amplify those traits, but also, interestingly, nudge you towards new ways of doing things. We'll look at how Mercury, your ruler, is interacting with other planets this month. It's about giving you insights so you can strategically handle what's coming. Basically, we want to give you some solid, practical knowledge you can actually use.
Strategic navigation, I like that. Okay, let's get into the overall vibe for September then. Looking at the sources, it feels like there's this fresh burst of energy, almost like turning new page, ready for new goals. Sounds great after the summer, but how does that energy actually play out? Does it hit all at once, or is it more gradual?
Oh, it's definitely a progression, and getting the rhythm of that is pretty crucial for you this month. The first part of September, the very beginning, it's influenced by Mercury, your ruling planet, making a nice angle, a trine with Saturn. That brings this really calm, reflective feeling. You might just naturally find yourself thinking things over, looking at long-term plans, organizing your thoughts, but without any pressure. It's a grounding time, letting you sort of lay the mental groundwork carefully. Think of it as the universe giving you a quiet moment to get organized before things pick up.
Okay, that makes sense. Sort of a calm before the storm, or maybe just before things get busier. So we're using that initial quiet time wisely. What happens next? What are we moving towards?
Exactly. That calm is prepping you for a real shift. By mid-September, Mercury moves into a more, let's say, challenging aspect, a square with Mars. That's where the energy changes. You'll feel it. It's not just thinking anymore. It's this powerful, almost urgent push to actually do things, to turn plans into action. It's like someone hits the gas pedal, cosmically speaking.
Yeah, the cosmic gas pedal.
Yeah. And for Virgos, it's about focused, practical drive. If you spent the first bit planning, mid-month is when you'll suddenly feel like, okay, let's go. Let's start these projects, put the plans to work. It'll be noticeable, so just be ready for that gear shift.
Okay, good heads up. And Virgos, being so precise, are probably well suited to handle that acceleration. Let's switch gears then to career and money. Areas where, Virgo strengths often shine. What kind of specific opportunities might pop up at work with this energy?
This is looking like a really strong area for you in September. Jupiter, that's the planet of luck and expansion, is in a really supportive position for your career sector, your 10th house, basically. So those core Virgo strengths, being organized, efficient, detail-oriented, they're not just going to be noticed. They could be actively rewarded. We're talking real possibilities here. Maybe a promotion, finally getting recognition for stuff you did ages ago, or getting handed some cool new projects that really use your brain power. Those presentations you perfected or processes you streamlined. They could suddenly get a lot more attention.
Okay, so it's not just about doing the work, but actually getting seen for it. That's huge. And what about finances? Is the picture looking as positive there?
Finances, the main theme is stability. And it looks like it improves gradually through the month. That Jupiter influence helps generally, but it's moving slower this month. And there's a Mercury-Saturn thing happening in your money houses too. It suggests growth is steady, built on solid ground. So probably not the month for a sudden windfall. It's more about consolidating, making smart long-term decisions. The big advice for you this September: nurture what you have. Look really closely at any new investment use, that Virgo precision, and definitely steer clear of anything risky or speculative where the details aren't totally clear. It's not about being scared. It's just smart management. Your strength is analysis, so apply it to your wallet, like building a solid foundation.
Building a financial fortress, right?
Yeah.
Very, very good. Okay, let's move on to something a bit different, love and relationships. For the single Virgos listening, where should they be looking? Are there specific places where connections might spark this September?
Yeah, for single Virgos, the stars are pointing towards places where your practical, intelligent side comes out. Your 6th house, that's work, daily routines, service, is quite active. So you're most likely to meet someone interesting in a work context, maybe through a project, or perhaps an academic setting like a class or a workshop. These are environments where you connect mentally first, talking about shared interests, solving problems together. That's often really appealing to or for a Virgo. It's less about instant fireworks, more about a connection that builds on shared activities and mutual respect.
That totally fits. connecting through shared purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, and for Virgos who are already partnered up, what's the vibe for them?
For Virgos in relationships, September generally feels warm and steady. Venus, the love planet, is moving through helpful parts of your chart for most of the month, creating comfort and connection. But it's worth noting, around mid-month, when that Mercury energy shifts, little disagreements might surface.
Ah, okay. Nothing major.
Probably not major, no. Likely stemming from miscommunications, maybe focusing too much on tiny flaws, something Virgos can do sometimes. But look, it's not really a bad sign. It's more like a chance to practice communication. The key for you is honest and calm communication. Try to express what you need without getting stuck on the nitpicky details. Focus on the feeling behind it, not just the surface issue. That way, you navigate the bumps smoothly, strengthen the bond, and stop small things from becoming big things. Connection thrives on understanding, right? Not just being right.
Connection thrives on understanding. I like that. A great reminder for everyone, really. Okay, let's talk health and energy. The forecast says health is generally good, fantastic news, but it also mentions Virgos might feel drained. Why is that, astrologically? And what can you do about it?
Right, so the general outlook is good, yes. But that potential drain, it comes directly from that core Virgo drive meeting the month's demanding energy. Mercury, your ruler, is super active, making those intense aspects we talked about. Plus, there's increased activity in your sixth house daily routines, work, responsibilities. It all adds up to potentially heavy workloads. And Virgos, you're dedicated, you're precise, you often take on way too much. That leads to feeling depleted, mentally and physically. It's not just tired. For you, it can be mental burnout from overthinking or physical strain from trying to make everything perfect.
So it's almost like a side effect of your own best qualities sometimes. What's the specific way to counteract that kind of drain then?
Exactly. The fix is to consciously build in balance. This month, make rest intentional. Don't just collapse at night. Schedule actual moments to switch off mentally. Light, regular exercise, like a daily walk. Maybe some gentle yoga is probably better for you now than intense, irregular workouts. It helps ground that nervous energy and stick to those healthy routines you value, but maybe with more self-compassion, less rigidness. The good news is mid-September, right when that energy shifts, that's a really good window to actually start these positive changes, like a cosmic green light.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so if you've been meaning to start meditating or get back to meal prepping or whatever it is, that's your time. The universe gives you a bit of a boost to make those healthier habits stick, not just for September, but long term. You're building resilience.
It's really powerful how those mid-month energies can be harnessed. And usually when we feel better internally, our social life reflects that too. So how are Virgos looking socially this month? You sometimes have a reputation for being a bit reserved. What's happening with friendships and connections?
Well, this is actually a really interesting shift for Virgos in September. The planetary vibes are encouraging you to open up a bit more. Venus, the planet of connection, is moving through your more social zones and making nice aspects. So you'll likely feel a natural pull to be a bit more outgoing, engage more. It's not about suddenly becoming the life of the party, more like a comfortable, genuine openness. You might find real joy in reconnecting with old friends, people you haven't seen for a while. That can bring some lovely nostalgia, but also fresh perspectives. And generally, you'll feel strong support from your loved ones, so definitely lean on your circle, share what's going on with you.
That sounds really nice, very supportive. But you also mentioned something about growth and even career connections coming from social stuff. How does that work for Virgos, who often keep those worlds separate?
Yes. That's where it gets really intriguing. This sort of increased openness, plus Mercury being so active, means social events could bring unexpected opportunities, like for personal growth, but maybe even professionally. Imagine going to, say, a friend's barbecue. Pretty casual, right? And you end up chatting with someone who becomes a mentor or a collaborator or gives you an idea for a project you hadn't even thought of. It's not about networking in that calculated way. It's more about just being present, open, and letting different parts of your life kind of bump into each other in good ways. For Virgos, this could be a key month for realizing that some big steps forward don't come from the detailed plans, but from just connecting with people. So say yes to those invites. They're not just for fun. They could broaden your horizons in surprising ways. Serendipity, maybe.
Serendipitous paths to growth.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay, that brings us perfectly to our final segment. We always like to boil it down to that one key takeaway, the golden advice for the month. So for all the Virgos tuning in, what's the most important thing to keep in mind for September 2025?
Okay, the golden advice for you this month. It's powerful because it kind of pushes against a core Virgo strength. Your attention to detail, that Mercury-driven analytical skill, it's usually your superpower, right? But this September, the big message is, try consciously not to get stuck on the tiny details. The planetary energy, especially with Jupiter being expansive, is really encouraging a wider view. If you let yourself get bogged down in every little flaw, every micro task, you could actually miss the bigger opportunities that are unfolding.
Wow, that's a real twist for a Virgo, to deliberately pull back from the details. How does focusing on the bigger picture actually help you succeed more this month?
It's about trusting the process, trusting the flow of the month's energy. Success is coming step by step, but it flows better if you give yourself that trust, that space to grow without controlling every single element. Think about, like, painting. You can't just stare at one brushstroke, you have to step back to see the whole thing. The universe is basically asking you this month to trust that the planning you did early on was good. Solid foundation, that mid-month acceleration. It's not about perfecting every tiny step along the way. It's about making confident moves towards the main goal. This is your aha moment, perhaps, about choosing progress and vision over perfection in every single detail right now. It's understanding that sometimes good enough for now lets you achieve something really great later, especially when the energy's pushing you forward. Go with the flow, trust your gut a bit more, and let that bigger picture guide you.
What a fantastic deep dive. We've covered so much ground for Virgos September 2025, from those energy shifts influencing work and money to love, health, social connections, even finding growth unexpectedly. Feels like you've got a really solid roadmap now, guided by Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, all those celestial players.
Absolutely. And just building on that golden advice, stepping back, seeing the bigger picture. Here's a final thought for you to chew on, especially as a Virgo. Thinking beyond just September, what if consciously practicing that wider perspective, that trust in the process instead of constant micromanaging? What if that didn't just